These old mountains of Appalachia, they stretch forever, it seems like, and they look so empty and vacant. But you just don't know. These places were plumb full of people at one time, living completely on their own. Join me as I give you a sneak peek of future videos coming up this year of these forgotten places. Now, I'm back in these old ridges trying to find an old past of our history, of our people, so they're not forgotten. And I head way back in these old ridges, trying to do exploring and find stuff like this. Here's an old cabin site made out of limestone rock chimney, collapsed, all that's left of it. Time gone by. You wonder, it looked like something like this, I'd say, back in the day. These people worked hard, scraped up what they could off the land to build them a cabin, keep them out of the weather. And you scrounge around places like this, and I happened to step on something and heard something clank. Under these leaves, an old plow blade, right down in them leaves. And that thing looks like it's wore out. Been there a long time. Look at the mold on it. Moss. How many miles has that old mule pulled that plow to make a living for these people? These old people struggled hard back in these old mountains. And I don't want them to be forgotten. So I'm just trying to share their history, one piece at a time. Now, I'll be doing future videos. This is a sneak peek of videos to come. For the coming year, this is Cageco. I'll do one on all the little dwellings and old cabins of Cageco. This is an old house. It's not in any park, or not next to no lake. Just an old farmhouse from way back. A lot of research to be done on these old places when you find them. This is just some samples. Here's an old house I showed in an earlier video of just people and their struggles as time goes by. Places like this, it's all but forgotten. Most of them are gone. Just remnants of them. Even the stores that were around these little communities in these mountains. Tried to do a little research and videos on them. And you look at the old roads in these old mountains that's abandoned years ago, how they're sunken in, how many times they've been traveled with wagons, horses. Times have gone by. And you find stuff like this in the old woods. What is this place? Who made this handmade laid rock wall in the middle of nowhere? So you try to do research, it's the hardest thing. What is it? Who done it? Who was here? But it's just amazing, the hard labor that these old mountain people put in this labor. Here's another one, old place. An old rock chimney made out of limestone rock. This was probably cleared pasture field at one time. Here's an old rock wall down in the woods. It's growed up. I would say that this was pasture fields at one time. Cleared fields, and it's just growed up. I found stuff like this too. In the middle of nowhere, in these old woods, there's a big old pile of old wooden barrel bands. Pile of them. You don't know what this used to be here. Was this a still here at one time? Or just water barrels? Don't know. Just in the middle of nowhere. Find nothing else. Well, that's what they are. Old wooden barrel bands. Pile of them. In these old places, there's not much left of them. If you're lucky, you find a chimney of an old house that's rotted down or burnt down years ago. So much mystery. And you find stuff like this too. You know what this is? This is a set of rocks. Yes, they're rocks stacked, but they're stepping stones. That's what they used to step into their wagons and carts with right here. Step up on that, up even into their wagons and carts. This is an old church right here. Old church foundation. Now, I'd made an old video on this. Here's the church that used to be there. This is old Lost Creek Church before the lake took it. This is the foundation of what's left of it. Still so much history to research and show and share. Old limestone block been quarried out and hauled in here to build this church. And here's an old quarry, maybe where it come from. But this is an old Tennessee marble rock quarry. I found this. Doing research on that, I'll do a future video on it. Look at the labor it took drilling down through that limestone and layering it out to get it out of this mountain. Old rock. And here's what's left of it. They stacked ready for shipment. You say, well, why in the world would it be just sitting there ready for shipment? Why did they leave it? Well, here's the reason they left it. Right here. They shot it down. They shot the bridge out. A last load went across and they shot it. This will be in a future video. I'll tell this story. And it's just marooned there because of the lake. And I'll do some future videos too on here's when the lake was down, 1940, 4 years after they filled it up, of the old roads. You can still see signs here on the old roads that's covered up by the lake. And remnants, when the lake's down, of old foundations, old road bed bridges of long ago. And here's an old mill they shot out, mill dam. I'd done a video on this earlier, but you find stuff like this. And you find stuff like this too, middle of nowhere in these woods, these old ridges of long ago. This is the steps of an old schoolhouse. Nature's took it back, but you can still see the rock foundation and the walls. So I just want to share this history one piece at a time so it's not forgotten. These people had hard struggles back in these mountains, all up and down these Appalachians. So I hope you enjoyed this. So stay tuned. These videos will be coming out, plus a lot of more on history. And I want to thank you all for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.